Good Monday morning, everyone. Welcome to hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. It's where we take uh, ongoings today in the celebrity realm or the political realm and we speak on it. Some things I say you're gonna like, some things I say you're not gonna like, but either way, I'm gonna say it. I'm your self proclaimed favorite news reporter, Mr. Breaking News. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody enjoyed their good weekend. And I mean from Good Friday all the way to Resurrection Sunday. I hope you all had a good day. A good weekend. Hold on while I get things set up real quick. Welcome on, welcome on. Come in, come in. Thank you for joining. Okay, okay. Before we get started into what we normally do, thank you for that heart me. I appreciate that, Rose. Good morning to you, bestie. How you doing? I will say the enemy, Lucifer, was really busy this weekend. Liz, good morning. Thank you for that heart me, love. How you doing, bestie? The enemy, Satan, Lucifer, was really busy this weekend, and he picked this weekend to be that way. Oh, thank you for the puppy kisses. I appreciate that, Liz. Thank you so much. I love it. I love it. I think he picked this weekend because of the weekend that it was. Marie, good morning, Bessie. How you doing? Stay safe down there. I hear you all are having some bad weather down there. I was listening to Chili B this morning out from H Town, and he was letting us know how the weather is. So please be safe, Bestie. Please be safe. Here's the thing. I started to get angry. I really started to get angry with a lot of things going on. I wasn't gonna bring this up, but I'm gonna get it off my chest. But you know, when you try to help someone and then they don't appreciate your help, only to turn around. Oh, San Antonio. Okay, okay, okay. You good? You good? Okay, okay. Um, they turn around and kind of slander you, right? Stuff like that. But you know, when you're trying to help them during the time you try to help them and you could see where it was going, or you have this thing called discernment. And that discernment lets you know, hey, this person is not exactly who you need in your circle, in your cipher. And so you choose to respectfully just walk away from that person or cut that off, that relationship off. And then when you find out that they basically are doing you wrong, throwing dirt on your name, the old me, and in this point, in this time, the me got really, really upset and was ready to go to war with them. Right? I was really ready to get on here and air it out on them. But here's the thing: I had to stop and realize something. That's discernment, and we are blessed to have that. Sometimes some of us don't have it. Some of us don't recognize it or identify with it. So when it happens, we just get mad, you know? But here's the thing. In the midst of Lucifer sending some of his soldiers at me, because, you know, when you're trying to change your life for the better, how many of you know that's when the war gets rougher? It gets tougher. And that's when the enemy starts attack, and he uses people that you thought were in your corner, and the enemy starts attack, and he uses people that you thought were in your corner and evil as disguises to infiltrate your inner peace. So I had to thank God for the discernment, and I just had to realize, hey, don't be mad at them. Don't be mad at what they're doing. You see, this was supposed to happen. This was going to happen all along. But it happened because they didn't need to be in my presence. You see what I'm saying? I didn't need to have them around. I didn't where I was trying to go or where I'm trying to go right now. They couldn't be with me on that path. There's no way I could have gotten there if I would have kept them walking beside me or walking with me. You see what I'm saying? So I say all of that to convey to you all that I know sometimes there's people who you thought were good and had your best interest at heart, only to find out that they was really slandering you or not. They didn't have your best interest at heart. They only had what they wanted at heart, be it attention, be it whatever. Okay, and you get mad. Well, first of all, another thing I found to understand is I wasn't mad. I wasn't upset. What I thought was anger was more so disappointment in them. You see what I'm saying? So I say all that to get to this, and then we're gonna go on to today's show because I've got to wrap it up and get back to some orders that I need to be finishing. So uh, when this happens, people, thank God for giving you discernment. Although it may bother you at the time and it may get you upset, don't let that get you upset. Just know that it's discernment. That was him giving you the energy, letting you know that, hey, this person isn't right. So, but I feel bad for leaving them or walking away from them. Don't. Don't. We all have our own individual past. Now, if you try to help and it's not working, don't feel bad about having to go on your merry way because you are on your own journey. Okay? All right? All right, I got that out. I got that out. I got that out. So we're going to go on with today's show. Today's show is about. Oh, hold on 1 second. I forgot something real quick. All right, all right. Sorry, I meant to get something before I got on here and forgot. Got ahead of the game. Sharita, good morning, bestie. How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Grand rising to you. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and start today's show, and I got two segments. It shouldn't take too long, but the first segment, of course, my source cred is Kadisha Lynn, and shout out to her for getting reaching the 100,000 subscriber plateau on YouTube. Shout out to her, man. That's just awesome. She's deserving of it. She does great work. She provides great journalism and great content. So I definitely want to congratulate her on that. Hopefully she gets to see this or hear it somewhere. Um, but she's definitely deserving of it. Most definitely deserving of it. But what we're going to listen to is this particular post of hers is it says Puffy Jacket's co-conspirators give up evidence / testifying against him. Now we said things like this was going to start happening, people. When it's getting hot and heavy, we in the home stretch. So, and I've got to do some research myself because at one point the trial was set for May 5th, and then they moved it to May 12th, and now I'm hearing it's back to May 5th. So we're gonna have to do some research on that and find out exactly what day is it going to be on, so we can have our little gathering that we've been planning for about a year now, right? Before I play this, I noticed on the playback when I was doing post production on one of my videos, one of my shows last week, that I forgot to plug in a cord for you all to hear the audio. right? October, good morning. How you doing, Bessie? You haven't missed anything, love. I haven't started yet. You just in time. I forgot to um plug a piece in for you to be able to hear the audio. And so I was wondering why everybody was asking, like, okay, what's this about? Did I miss something? Can you recap? I'm lost. And as I was doing the post production, I see why they were asking that because they couldn't hear anything, right? So I apologize for that, and forgive me in my haste to get on and come to you guys. Uh, and I got it set up today, so I'm gonna ask you, make sure you all can hear it. But I'm gonna start it now, okay?
Diddy's co-conspirators are snitching on him. We all have been waiting for information about Diddy's co-conspirators, and the feds just dropped new bombshell information saying that they are about to use statements.
Are you all hearing it? Auntie Lovey, where you been? Hey girl, how you doing? Welcome to the lot, and thank you so much for the chocolate. Thank you for the feed chocolate. I appreciate that. Tell your son happy birthday. I just saw your post. Are you all hearing the audio okay? Just put a one. Just put a one in the live if you can hear. I want to make sure I got it connected the right way this time.
From Diddy's co-conspirators, his employees, and more against him in his trial. I called it. I said that I felt like Diddy's co-conspirators were going to end up taking deals to flip on him and give up more information the second that I saw Diddy's assistant, Philip Pines, on the fall for Diddy, say that he testified to the grand jury and he showed so much evidence, text messages with Christina Korm, voice memos of Diddy, and more. And I said this again after Christina Korm just recently came out after she deleted all of her social media accounts and everything after Diddy got arrested. And she said, I had nothing to do with anything. I don't know why I'm being named in all of these lawsuits. Here we go, because the government just put in a motion saying that they want to use statements from Diddy's employees, agents, and co-conspirators against him in this trial. And they said that this is going to also include witness testimony and evidence and numerous statements by the defendant's employees and agents, many of whom were also members of the racketeering conspiracy charge in the indictment. They said that they want to use statements from Diddy's employees.
Hold on. Liz, I gotta Liz. Hold on. I gotta read this for the people who's not that won't be able to see the comments. Okay, Liz says daily. Oh, I just puffy jacket. I won't say the puffy jacket joke. Got a job on a oil rig. I showed up for work and it was Puffy Jacket's house. Man, y'all, I never heard of that. That was good. That was good.
They also want to include text messages sent by Diddy's employees and recordings of Diddy's employees, as well as testimonies from witnesses. Also want to use statements from Diddy's co-conspirators, and they are saying that these are members and associates of Diddy's enterprise who were charged with accomplishing the purpose of this enterprise, fulfilling Diddy's personal desires, covering up Diddy's crimes, and above all else, preserving, protecting, and promoting the power and reputation of the defendant and the Combs enterprise. They also say at Diddy's trial, they expect to demonstrate that somebody among other employees were all co-conspirators who agreed to assist in at least some of the racketeering activity outlined in the indictment. That they plan to show that some of these people will include Diddy's security detail, including somebody named who often participated in acts of violence. There will be many other members and associates of Diddy's enterprise, naming somebody else again, who were aware of Diddy's multiple alleged assaults on female victims. Diddy allegedly enlisted the assistance of a multitude of staff members and assistants, including somebody to secure substances for Diddy's personal use and supply that to the victims both during freak-offs and at other times. This is a list of Diddy's co-conspirators or employees that the government intends to bring statements from in Diddy's criminal trial. These people will include Diddy's high-ranking employees, Diddy's security personnel, and senior leadership of Diddy's corporate entities. Also, Diddy's personal assistants who...
Okay, let's stop. First of all, hold on. We got to do something we forgot to do.
All things said in today's show are alleged and for entertainment purposes only. If you are below the age of 18, we request that you leave the live now.
Let's pause right there for a minute. I want because a lot of the companies that he owned have been brought up in lawsuits, right? And so, with that being said, that could be why they're mentioned in here or why people were coming forward, right? Because they work for those entities. And so, by them working for the entities, you get me? They're trying to, distance themselves away from any and all of anything to do with the case that he has going on. So they could definitely, most definitely, say, "Hey, look, I'll go ahead and say something because I don't want to be affiliated with none of this." You see what I'm saying?
Set up these freak offs, which is exactly what Diddy's senior executive assistant Philip Pine said on The Fall for Diddy when he showed all of these text messages from Christina Korm about setting off these freak offs and even voice memos that we heard in real time from Diddy. They have multiple discussions from people who worked for Diddy as security personnel. Also have certain messages that they want to use from Diddy's security personnel and also statements that one of them gave to employer number 3 about something. They even start talking about a senior executive at Bad Boy who is responsible for advancing careers of performing artists and in that capacity. And after seeing this, one of the first people that I thought about was possibly Harvey Pierre, because we know that Harvey Pierre was the president of Bad Boy for many years, and that is a senior executive role, but he was also a music executive, which also made me think that they now want to bring in a minor into Diddy's case to prove prior bad acts. And the first person that I thought of when I heard this was Anna Kane, who filed the lawsuit against Diddy and Harvey Pierre, alleging that she was S8 at Daddy's house at only 17. But Christina Korm also held senior executive roles for Diddy for many years, so it's hard to tell. But based off them saying controlling the music aspect of the artist, I'm leaning more towards Harvey Pierre. And then I saw this footnote that was really interesting. They said that these witnesses remained formal employees when they made certain statements, with the exception of one person who continued to assist the defendant even after his employment ended approximately in 2018. However, it is clear that whoever this person is continued to act as an agent of Diddy's, and his statements that
Thank
will
you
be
for that, Harvey
offered
Michelle.
were
I
made
appreciate it. How
within
you
the
doing,
scope
Bessie?
of that relationship. Whoever this person is gave statements to Victim 4 in 2023. They're trying to say that these statements from whoever this person is are admissible as co-conspirator statements because their relationship continued as a member in the racketeering conspiracy with the defendant even after his employment ended. Which made me think of James Cruz, who is also a president at Bad Boy around the same time as Harvey Pierre, but James Cruz left Bad Boy in 2018, and he is the same person that Cassie talked about in her lawsuit. Cassie said in her lawsuit, after that 2016 hotel incident that we all saw on CNN, she left her home and went to hide away at her friend's home in Florida. She alleged that James Cruz, the president of Bad Boy Management, tracked her down and told her that her single would not be released if she did not answer Diddy's phone calls. And I've been waiting to hear about Diddy's co-conspirators, but after a while and the closer and closer it got, I felt like a lot of these co-conspirators were probably trying to flip on Diddy to basically save themselves. Now it's looking like that is exactly what is happening. But y'all let me know what you guys think about.
Okay. So that was her content on that. Now, given what we just heard her say, and the fact that she was saying that the co-conspirators are now giving up evidence and choosing to testify against Puffy Jacket, would it be wrong of us to think that the things that are being said or alleged, being alleged, are now being validated because these people are coming out with evidence. Again, at the end of the day, we know it's going to have to go to court, and that's how it's going to happen. But I'm saying, in the court of public opinion, do you all feel that this is an indication of the evidence that they have on him may just be sufficient enough to come back with charges that stick? Hey, good morning, Demetrius. How you doing, brother? Rochelle says Puffy Jacket is going down. Okay, so you think that this is significant right here, and not, it doesn't work in his favor. Clearly, these are people that spent time with him, people that worked with him, that were close to him a lot. So we do know it's not. They have, if they say something like that, if they come out with the evidence, if they take the stands and their evidence is proven to be true, it could be very, very bad for him, right? We're not judging. We're not saying. We're just saying if that is indeed the case, how things play out, it could be detrimental for him. That's all. What do you all think about that? Marie says to Rochelle, hey, friend. Rochelle says, I think they are guaranteeing the evidence. Okay. You think that validates the evidence as well? Okay. So do I, actually. Marie says to Rochelle, yes, indeed. Okay, so you agree with that too? The evidence is supporting what they have what they're saying he's done, and it's going to turn out against him, work against him when he goes to court. We are getting very, very close. I just realized the date. We are getting really, really, really close. Man. All right, before I go into the second segment, I want to shout out to the people over at New Realm Brewing Company in Owlin, KSU, Kennesaw State University, for the shirt orders that they put in with me, and I'm going to get to them so I can get those put to them, right? Get that out to them. The second segment of the show comes from The Art of Dialogue. That's the source cred for the second segment of the show, The Art of Dialogue. And it says, Chopper exposes Puffy Jacket using The Band, which is that show that was, well, you say right here, The Band, walking for a cheesecake to secure an endorsement with Juniors. I don't know who Juniors is. I'm assuming that's the company maybe in New York that they got the cheesecake from. I'm not sure, but that was the show that was famous for him, Puffy Jacket, bringing different people together and forming a band out of them. We got The Band from Making the Band. We got Danny D. Kane. I think that came through there. Okay, Demetrius says Cheesecake Company. Okay, all right. So we was on point. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that, brother, because I had no clue what that was. We don't have that here. Okay, so that makes sense. But if we could put a little post-it right here, we can also, I want to go back and remind people or refresh people's memory that on this particular episode where he told them to walk from Manhattan to Brooklyn and get him a cheesecake, and Chopper has stated that it really wasn't for him. He says it was for that Beehive lady. So I want to make sure we put that out there too. Him Extra says it's a restaurant right over the bridge in Brooklyn. Specializes in their famous cheesecake. Okay, appreciate that. Him Extra. Man, I wish I would have known that when we was up there. I would have tried that. I didn't know. I need to find out a way to remember these things that you all are telling me, so when we go back up, we can try them.
I heard y'all got an endorsement from that cheesecake situation. Is that true?
Actually, we did. Shout out to juniors, you heard me? Shout out to juniors, you heard me? Because for the rest of my life and our life, we can always go there and eat for the rest of our life. They gave Diddy a bag, but Diddy didn't give us the money. They actually did the deal with Diddy, but Diddy didn't give us $1. So he utilized us to get an endorsement with juniors, you heard me? And they give us $1. So yeah, we had an endorsement, but we never got nothing from the endorsement. Rape records, huh? Oh,
That's
that's Diddy
crazy.
for you. Yeah, so we had an endorsement, you heard me, but we just never got compensated for the endorsement. Diddy did.
And y'all can get free food from there?
Yeah, we can get free food for the rest of our life there in Brooklyn, juniors. You heard me? But we never was able to get compensated for the situation for the Cheesecake Walk that they actually
Right,
compensated Diddy and
right.
Bad Boy with, but
Rochelle
we just
says
never
so.
got
He's stealing
nothing
too.
from it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Demetrius said overrated
Up,
spot.
ain't it,
Oh,
bro?
it's not good.
Yeah, they
Okay.
ain't cool.
Okay.
They did
Thank you for
y'all
letting me
dirty,
know
man.
that. Then
Yeah, fucked up that you got an endorsement, but you don't get money from the endorsement. And they got money for the endorsement, and we got nothing besides we can eat there for the rest of our life. Ain't that fucking cold? Ain't do nothing but sit us there like some golfers. I hated that shit. I really did. To this day, I still think about that. That's my only regret. You heard me on making the band is I wish I never walked for that cheesecake. But I was young, so I wasn't thinking like I'm finna go walk 4 hours there, 4 hours back. I wasn't thinking that way. I was just thinking we going down the street to get a cheesecake. But Lord have mercy, did we make history with that one? Then we mighty.
Mhm.
I came back with blisters on my toes. I was hurt. Ooh,
It
I
ain't
was
funny, but
sick.
it's funny.
We all was sick. Say, bro, we was so sick, and this was Sarah was talking about in a lawsuit. When we came back, he put us in a hotel together, and we all practically slept on the floor in the bed together, women and men. So that part right there, Sarah was right about that, because that's exactly what he made us do. You heard me when we came back from the Cheesecake Walk. He made us all lay in the. We had a room with 2 beds, and the girls and the guys, we all was so tired, bro. We all just lay next to each other.
Hold on. Let me catch your comments. Sorry about that. Okay. Rochelle says, I wonder how far people would walk from mine. Listen, they wouldn't walk to the end of the driveway from me, bestie. So to get them to walk from now, when we was up there, I can't say. I guess it all depends on where in Brooklyn you're going. But um, uh, him extra. I'm assuming you live up there, maybe, or or in the area. You know more about the area, so you may be able. And you too, Demetrius. It seemed like you know about the area as well. So I, it wasn't a short distance or short drive from um, Brooklyn to Times Square that I remember. Now that also could be the fact that they drive crazy up there. I mean, you really it can give you anxiety driving up there in New York. You know, Marie says that's crazy on a whole different level. Yeah, I agree, Bestie. That's wild. That's wild right there. Marie says he was definitely on a power trip, and I'm thinking that's it's what it's giving, right? It's giving those same vibes, and we always said that really the case is going to come down to establishing a pattern of behavior.
That was you heard me. That's also that was in Sarah lawsuit that Diddy made us lay in beds together, and by law you're not supposed to do that with men and women. But he made it. We laid in the bed together. We were so tired. That wasn't the only time though. It was buku other times, and the hazing part of making the band that he made us lay in the beds together. Facts.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. But to go back to the junior situation, have you been there since then?
Yeah, I've been there before. They treated me like a rock star. They did everything right. They got us like when you walk in juniors, you heard me. Like our pictures is everywhere. So 100%, I went there. They treated me like a rock star. The utmost hospitality. I don't blame them. They did what they were supposed to do. I blame the bad boys. I don't even know if I say blame. I don't blame nobody for nothing. But I don't appreciate how Bad Boy went about that. Because juniors, you heard me, they had nothing to do with anything. They just did what they thought was best. And since we walked, over there and went through all that on MTV, they did the right thing by showing us the utmost respect, love, gratitude, and appreciation. It's just the Bad Boy situation that didn't compensate us for doing that, even though they had the endorsement with them. Yeah. So yes, to this day, for the rest of my life, all of us.
Okay, so that concludes that part right there. Rochelle says he really thought he was untouchable. Right, and again, I have to say that I think that comes with him being able to do whatever he wanted to do for so long because he had the backing of those elite people. You understand? And once you get to the aspect of things to where you can do whatever you want to do and not face any consequences, and you've seen that it's been proven to where you can do things and be let off or face no charges or whatnot. You begin to think, hey, I can do whatever I want. I can be reckless and I'm not going to have any consequences to face or anything like that. You see? So, Charlie Sprinkles, peace, God. How you doing? Welcome to the live. Just Mark again. Welcome in. So I think that might have been the issue. I think that's probably what may have started the issue, I should say. I can't say that that was it for sure. Charlie Sprinkle says, wonderful, magnificent, and great. Hope you're doing the same. Yeah, I am. I am now. I'm doing good. I got some things off my chest in the beginning, so I'm feeling good now. I'm past it. We're gonna stay focused and let those people be. Right? Okay, so now we're gonna go to, and I appreciate that, brother. Thank you for that. Now we're gonna go to our third and final segment of the show, and this is from Source Cred goes to the Art of Dialogue as well. And the reason why I'm actually bringing this one up is because the past couple of weeks, or the past few weeks, we've seen the direction guy, the guy with the direction as a last name, like champion and lobbying and rallying support Puffy Jacket, even to the point where he dropped a new song that has him, his daughter, whose first name is a direction, and Puffy Jacket and Puffy Jacket's one of Puffy Jacket's son on the album or on the song. So, and then there's talks about him not having the best of hygienes, I guess you could say, and going through some situations with his current wife, where his ex-wife and his current wife are basically teaming. I don't want to say teaming up against him, but it seems like they've made an agreement to work together. Alleged, right? So this is called, and it's Chopper again. Chopper reveals to the guy with the direction as a last name that Puffy Jacket dissed him and didn't let him inside his house to play beats. Okay? Michelle said, I bet his money is on lockdown. Look, they did it before to him. Man, like everything was crashing, remember?
To be honest with you, bro, I never would have thought Diddy got down like that. Never. Never in a million years of my life. I thought Diddy was like this, take that, shiny suit, hit maker. I never thought encountering this situation. Sometimes I wish I haven't ever did the Making the Band situation. It's because at times it kind of like the shenanigans kind of overrides the talent. And I'm still out here. I'm still looking, I'm still out here. I'm still looking great, still doing my thing, highly respected, and I respect everyone. But sometimes I regret ever doing the Making the Band because I feel like by not respected, and I respect everyone. But sometimes I regret ever doing the Making the Band because I feel like by not
Okay. I don't know. Somebody, I don't know. Somehow or another it got paused, but we back. We back.
to it and do what I got to do because I'm always going to keep going and I'm never going to quit. But sometimes I feel like the shenanigans with that Making the Band situation kind of overrides my talent. And just to see Diddy going through this, it's just like, say, bro, it kind of sucks to even say that I was even down with Bad Boy. It's damn near kind of like a look on people's faces, bro. Yeah, bro, and it sucks. But at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. And I'm not saying Diddy is guilty or not guilty, mighty bro, but I will say, a bunch of people keep saying the same thing about you. Something of that has to be true. That's all I'm gonna say. I
That
mean,
part.
and I'm not ashamed of anything I went through with them because I'm not gonna sit up here and say all the times was bad. I had great times over there. I made history in the era that I was in,
Y- Hold on.
definitely TV history.
That's one reason I like um Chopper's interviews because even 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 the wrong that he's done or even the things that he feels like he could have done differently, he brings up. He doesn't ride the wave of society or popular opinion. He just gives it straight up as it is. This is what it is, and I appreciate that about him. It shows a lot of integrity, and it makes his words believable because he's giving you the good and the bad, and he's including himself if he was part of what was bad. He's telling you that, right? So I appreciate that. Rochelle says the whole world is looking at his people like they are just as bad. Yeah, and that's why I think people are trying to distance themselves from him. You see what I'm saying? And I can't say that I blame him, but at the same time, you know, even the other segment we was talking about, the first segment, that's why I think people are deciding to say, hey, I give as evidence and I'll testify. As long as you just keep me, off that side with him, I think that's why a lot of people are doing that.
I've always been chopper sitting, always been doing my thing. So I don't feel, and I learned a lot, being under 18 over there, I learned a lot over there. So I appreciate every bit of the moments of what I've learned because he turned me into a juggernaut in his studio. He showed me how to hustle and he showed me how to win in life of surviving as an artist. So I guess it's like a bittersweet situation. And that's why deep down, I don't feel like I'm drawing them under the bus, but yet and still, the bus have to run over a leg or two. Is because you allow a million buses to run over me. And, and regardless of how that sounds, you didn't have grace or mercy for me and mine. So it's like, how can I have grace and mercy for you and yours? It just sucks, And I'm such a good-hearted person that even though you done me and all these people dirty, I still don't have the malice in my heart to wish the worst for him, and it sucks. It really does. And I wish him the best. And what they say, free did it. But I also
Hmm.
want to say this too. Um, the Kanye situation with Diddy, that kind of made me feel a little weird. Is because maybe Kanye, I look at it like an idolizing situation. When I see him on the phone with Diddy and Diddy like, you're the only family I got. That's cap. You understand? But yeah, Kanye idolized Diddy, and I respect that. But once upon a time, on Making the Band, Kanye, you pulled up at the house. You pulled up at the house on Making the Band on Fourth and Charles, and you tried to come in the house, and the Mr. Bentleys denied you to come in before he later in life was on your dick and rocking with you, and Diddy denied you to come into the house. You dig? But yet and still, you over here making it seem like y'all like the best of friends when the real truth of it is he didn't give no fucks about you either.
Hmm. If After all we've been seeing the guy whose last name is a direction doing here lately in favor or in support of Puffy Jacket? Do you think hearing this, when he hears this, it could change? Or do you think he's just going to continuously do what he's been doing? Do you think this could make a difference?
And life is just funny to me of just how it goes. But shout out to Kanye because I respect him as an artist, and I think the propaganda things that he do is pretty genius. Because a lot of people think he's crazy, but I don't think he's crazy. I think he's marketing. He at the end of the day, he don't care
Could be.
about the reaction of what people say as long as they're reacting, and I think that's genius. I think it's a little crazy and shenanigan and UFO-y, you heard me, but it's still genius.
Hey,
But
UFOic. I like
You
that
Diddy,
said
word.
that's
Puffy was
not.
treating Kanye like trash.
Yeah, told him he couldn't come in the house because Kanye was he popped up at the house. This the Kanye that wore the polo and the Jesus chains. You dig? And he popped up at the house, and I walked outside, and a couple other people walked outside, and he was trying to come in and play his beats. But Mr. Bentley, no, Diddy told Mr. Bentley that nigga can't come in. And Mr. Bentley came outside and was like, yeah, at this moment, we're not really allowing nobody to come in and play beats and all that. And Kanye left. So to see all these decades later, to see Diddy,
Hey, anybody see that episode? I didn't. I don't recall it, and I really didn't watch the show. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't watch the show like that. But for those in here that did watch the show, do you all remember the episode that he's talking about or speaking about right now?
Diddy say, you're the only family I got. Bullshit. That's bullshit. But hey, be great. But Diddy is full of shit. And Kanye idolized him so much that he believed that fucking foolishness. Kanye, that man don't got no love for none of us. He don't give no fucks about none of us. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. He don't have no love for nobody. Did he love him and his? And deep down, can you blame him? You dig? Maybe Diddy ain't coming to this game to really have love for none of us. Diddy has always won in his game. He always won. So that's why it's diabolical, you heard me, and uncomfortable to all our eyes to see this man in jail, federally at that. It's because we never would have thought Diddy, of all people, would have been in this situation. But it's funny how life changed. It's funny how times change. It's funny how the table turned. And it's bittersweet because deep down, I don't want to see no man in jail going through this because I just went through this in 2022 and they try to ship me up the road. So I know how I feel to be back there treated like shit, especially when you are popular or a celebrity. They treat you like shit the most. They put you in 23-hour lockdown and all day. It sucks that you got to be in that bit reading books you don't want to read, novels and all this shit. It sucks, that you get 30 minutes to take a shower and 30 minutes to make a phone call to whoever you need to. It sucks. So I never want to witness that, encounter that, or have anybody going through that. So I don't wish that on nobody, jail. But the humble pie that he's eating right now, I think he need to. I smile when he's eating that motherfucker. It sucks, but the shit that I went through in life, that this man has put me through, and all of us through, uh, he kind of fucking deserve it. Period. And when it come down to it, I want to say I got love for him
Hey, Bessie,
because
thank
he
you for that
saved
heart
me
me
and got
talking
me
with
out the
JoJo.
ghetto when
How you
Master
doing
P
this
and
morning?
Baby and nobody paid me no attention. And I got up off my ass and got on them Greyhounds and figured it out. And he gave me the chance, which is why I have the utmost respect and love for him. But also it's him because he didn't have no love for me. Period. So it's just a bittersweet situation. And on that note, good luck to him. And I wish his family the best. And shout out to them.
Okay. And that concludes the third segment of the day. But once again, we're not saying he's guilty of anything. Puffy Jacket is guilty of anything. We're not doing that. That, again, he'll have his day in court. Sharita says it knocked me off this station. Yeah, it wasn't you, Bestie. I think somebody reported it, and because it shut it down and then put it in pause mode. I had to resume it, but it's okay. I've been having issues with somebody I was trying to help on here that was supposed to be a guest on here being about being cyberbullied, and she's turned into one, and she's got a little band of people that she run with that decides to do the same thing, and they make these fake pages and come in here and do stuff. So it was probably one of them, but they ain't gonna stop us, right? Don't worry about it. They ain't gonna stop us. The It's so flattering that that's what they spend their day doing. Okay, talking with JoJo. I will. I'm about to end the show now, anyways, because I got to get to making some fulfilling some orders. But uh, I wanted to make sure that we talked about that because we've always said it's the pattern of behavior that's really going to determine a lot when we get to this trial, right? Right. So that's where we stand now. And given what these people were saying, okay, Marie, I will. Um, Given the things that these people are saying, if even with Chopper, if anything can be validated of what he's saying, I mean, it could go a long way. It could go a long way. We're getting closer to it, people. I'm excited to see where it heads or where it leads to. Either way, whatever the decision is made by the courts, that's what we're gonna go with. But again, I want to let people know we're not on here saying that Puffy Jacket is guilty of what he's being charged for. He hasn't admitted any guilt, so we're not going to say he is. That's going to be determined in court. However, in the court of public opinion, things do not look good for him. But we also know when it comes to this type of thing and when it comes to this type of justice, we also know that money can change outcomes, right? So we'll follow it. Bestie, talking with JoJo, you may be able to help me with this because I've heard that the trial was set back a week to May 12th, but now I'm hearing reports that it's on still it went back to May 5th. So do you know which one is the true or which date is accurate? Right, talking with JoJo, money talks. Okay. All right. She says nothing official yet. Okay. All right. So we're just gonna keep our eyes on it and keep our ears open so we can hear about it and find out when it is. Janice says May 5th. Okay. Okay. So we back to May 5th. Okay. So that's what we'll do. We'll still go on with our plans for May 5th then, for now. Talking with JoJo says for now. Okay. May 5th. All right. Okay. So we're gonna keep our plans for May 5th, then we'll move it back then, right? John says, Marino, Anthony is going to need some Diddy, I'm sorry, Puffy Jacket baby oil. Aw, is he? Without entertaining stuff like that anyway. So, but yeah, so that's it for Janice says the judge denied a continuance. Oh, well, see, I mean, that in itself, you know what? So May 5th, people, May 5th, we on, right? We on. We're gonna do our show. We're gonna come together and watch developments as they're released to us, and just enjoy our Cinco de Mayo. Correct? We still on? And that's what we do. All right, you guys. I'm gonna let you go for the day. I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm gonna say 10 o'clock, our normal scheduled time, but who knows? I may pop on early. It just depends on how I feel. But I will let you all know prior to. Okay. You all enjoy the rest of your day. And yes, talking with JoJo, I got you. And Marie, I got you too. All right. You all take care. Enjoy your day. Peace and blessings.